Hey guys, it's Dan Downs here, and I wanted to uh, really share. Actually, this is more of a brain wave for me. So, less formal. Clearly, I'm in rare form, being very scruffy. Um, Recently I was going through something of a tweet storm I found online regarding some of the latest advancements in Blender. I really haven't kept up with the VFX industry a lot over these last few years, primarily because I've been busy with other things. But it's good to read up and see what the latest advancements are. Kind of interesting, and as an all-around interested individual, I find it fun to get into. So the short of it is that was looking at the new trailer for Dynamo Dream. For those who are not familiar, Ian is a famous Blender user and has been making VFX in Blender for many years. The newest trailer for Dynamo Dream looks absolutely incredible, and he was nice enough to make a YouTube video where he both had the initial trailer, but then he separately created a how-to where he showed exactly how he did it. And what's key here is that, number one, it showed just how far we've come in being able to shoot and then edit and insert a comprehensive VFX world, using software like Blender. And number two, I discovered in looking at his video that it was all rendered in real time using the EV engine, which is part of the Blender suite. For those who are unfamiliar, EV is a real-time engine or tool that works within the Blender suite that allows for immediacy. So you can actually preview how some of your assets look in very intimate real-time environments. None of this, long time to render. It does it in real time on the fly. This is a huge leap in being able to see Anne's work and how it's evolved, and specifically being able to see what he shot and then the end product after he was able to build a comprehensive world that runs in a real-time engine. It's kind of hard to explain to those who are not familiar. In thinking about this, I was coming up with ideas of how do you convey this succinctly to those who really haven't been following the industry, and this is what I came up with. So about 3 years ago in Blender, or let's call it 2.5 years ago, you'd have an image that you created for like a scene. If you want to have that image actually render, it may take 20-30 minutes after you have it built out and it's finally done. If you want it to be an actual full scene with animation, it's like 30 minutes times 30 frames per second times 4 seconds. All of a sudden, you're looking at hours, many hours. And so, for those who do VFX, jokes about things rendering over, 100 hours are kind of a meme, but it's true. There are things that take serious amounts of time to render. And, often that means you have to cut down scenes to very short snippets, and then you're doing a lot of short sequential snippets. Two years ago, Blender started to have people who were really optimizing the software suite. New functionality was constantly rolling out, given that it is an open source project. And through tweaking of some of the settings, people got that hourly time down a lot. I'm going to describe this incorrectly, but the short of it is, through the use of certain settings and the use of internal algorithms within the Blender program, it got to the point where the software could be instructed to get something that's about 90% of the way there insofar as human experience, and basically strip out all the extraneous data that a human wouldn't necessarily notice. All the colors we do not see, all the polygon interactions that we are not going to experience given our limited viewpoint and human eyeballs. Very limited inputs here. And that render time was brought down substantially. So, 2 years ago, Blender, much better than it used to be, much faster rendering, allows for a tighter iterative feedback cycle. Around this time, of course, you have the initial development of Eevee. Eevee as an engine allowed for real-time work, immense amount of promise. Today, 2020, we have this engine. It's really starting to get good, like really good. And we may be looking at a moment, in the VFX community that would be akin to the development of stable early combustion engines, or the invention of the conical bullet, or the publishing of Satoshi's white paper. Revolutionary. We could be looking at a genuine revolution in VFX in the very near future because of the ability to throw modest amounts of computer power, computer power that is actually owned by individuals on laptops or high-end towers, to render entire environments in real time. This could disintermediate Hollywood. That's how big this is. So, I really look forward to following along with this. This has been top of mind for me for a little bit, and I'm genuinely considering spending some time actually getting good at Blender, because as far as hobbies go, if you can world build with that level of sophistication, if we are talking about being able to take Minecraft worlds, which are thrown together in a pretty simple fashion, and being able to insert them into Blender, and using Blender tools to very quickly transfer that data into a Blender readable format and add some character to it. If you could take that and put it into a visual scene in full animation, we are talking about a genuine revolution here. So, interesting thoughts. I hope this has been illuminating to me, Dan, or to you, the viewer, and we'll see where we go from here. Take care.